Hi, this is Carl Bildt, and the question for the week is, are we heading for a new age of testing openly nuclear weapons? Well, it all started with President Trump evidently misunderstanding things. He had picked up that President Putin had been boasting about some of his fairly old weapons, as a matter of fact, a nuclear-powered cruise missile and a torpedo with nuclear weapons. I mean, he boasts about these things now and then in order to make him seem powerful. As a matter of fact, these are weapon systems that are fairly useful for everything except all-out nuclear war, which is really not where we're heading at the moment. I'm sincerely hoping. But Donald Trump thought this was the same as testing nuclear weapons, and immediately ordered the U.S. To start to test nuclear weapons. And one would have expected someone to say to the president, sorry, you've misunderstood all of this. This had nothing to do with testing nuclear weapons. And there's no reason for the United States to start to test nuclear weapons. It's rather elaborate exercise to do anyhow. It will take quite a long time to prepare. But he evidently didn't do that. And the consequence was that, well, then we had President Putin, who orders his military to start to prepare exploding nuclear weapons in Novaya Zemlya up in the Arctic. And then, of course, we have North Koreans, the elusive supreme leader there, announcing that he's also ready to start testing nuclear weapons again. And suddenly we are, just because of a misunderstanding by President Trump that evidently no one dares to correct, in the fairly acute danger of a situation where we go back on what has been achieved for sort of 35 years, the absence of testing of nuclear weapons. And at worst, we'll see them start exploding in different countries to the detriment of security and to the detriment primarily of the United States. I mean, the United States doesn't, I understand, need it because you can simulate these things anyhow with advanced things. The North Koreans would be perfectly happy to start to explode nuclear weapons, I guess, and Mr. Putin would like to do it as well. So it's really a rather bizarre incident, a misunderstanding that could, at worst, have fairly detrimental effects on attempts to stabilize a rather volatile global situation.